Hey, it's Steph. Thanks for watching today's video. I have an update for my Pan That palette. This was created by Amber F. many years ago, so I will have her link down below. And the Pantastic Ladies come up with a theme every year. Lee Golder came up with the theme Old Faithful. And that is just a product that's been with you for a long time that you really love and you just want to get really good use out of. I was planning on working on this palette anyway, but it fit the theme, and it is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. I've had this since 2017, and I did wear it on my wedding day. It is just one of my favorite palettes in my collection. I feel like it's kind of getting nudged out of the top 5 just as I, find new palettes or try things out. It's still a really, really good palette, so I'm so glad that I still have it. I'm also working on a face palette this year. Okay. I'm also working on a face palette this year, and it's my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Jellyfish. I'm just trying to use each shade 100 times, but let me talk about my eyeshadow palette first. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do mostly panning content. I'm trying to use the items I already own. I am on my second No Buy year in a row, so projects dedicated to specific items really help me work through what I already have, and I'm not tempted to buy anything new. Well, I am tempted to buy new things, but it's easier for me not to buy new things. I also do some get ready with me's every now and then, palette bingos, which is where I randomize eyeshadows and create an eye look with them. Just different things that help me use my collection. If that sounds good to you, I hope you subscribe if you're not already, and of course give this video a thumbs up. So I've been working on my Sultry palette since January of this year, and my goal is to hit pan in every single shade. I will have photos from the previous months up on the screen, but I have been hitting pans almost every update except for the last few months. And I do have pans in every single one of these eyeshadows except for the pink matte shade called Bloom. I am still chipping away at this. I have marked down that I've used it 4 times this last month. I really hope I used it more than that. And if I did, you will see photos on the screen of the looks that I've created, but this is what it's looking like now. And I still am just working on hitting that pan. Nothing too crazy. I don't know what to say. Yes, I could have used it more. This is not a favorite shade of mine. It is kind of like a warmer pink, but I do enjoy mixing it with a matte purple that's in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. So that's actually how I have it on today. I have the pink kind of focused in my crease, and then I blended it with that matte purple, and it creates more like a cool toned pink effect, and I really enjoy that. And I have gotten a lot of suggestions almost every update to use this pink as a blush, and I absolutely love multitasking products like this. And if I wasn't working on like 5 blushes right now, I would absolutely do that, but I did want to try it out once, so I'm actually wearing this shade today as a blush, and it doesn't look too half bad. Of course, I have like highlighter and bronzer as well, but this is the only blush product I have, powder blush. I do have cream blush underneath, but you can see the shade here, and I actually like it as a blush, and I wish I wasn't working on so many other blushes so I could focus on this as a blush. I don't know, I might look at my projects and see if I can slow down my usage on some other blushes just so I can hit pan in this eyeshadow, because it's August now. August 1st is when this is going up, so I gotta get a move on. I really want to hit pan on this before the end of summer, so we'll see about that. Moving on to my Hourglass palette, when I rolled it in, it was basically untouched. This is a baked formula, so it does not see a lot of visual progress until you get like the higher usage. And I had about like 10 uses each on these shades when I rolled it in. I feel like last month I was really seeing some visual progress, and I had 44 uses at that point. So this is what it's looking like today. Somebody mentioned that this shade might have pan in it, and I don't think that's waffle pan. I think it's just some air bubbles, but you can definitely see how it is getting flat in that top corner, as well as this shade here. You can see how flat it's getting. I know it's hard to see, but I do see visual progress, which makes me so happy. Like I said, I had a goal to use this 100 times this year. If I divide that by 12 months, I had to use this palette 8 times every month, and then a few months I had to use it 9 times. I don't hit that 8 uses every single month, so I definitely need to be catching up, but I did use this 9 times this last month in July, so that is a really good month for me in this palette, and that totals 53 uses so far. So I am still behind, but I'm getting there. And I mention this every update, but the way that I use this is I mix the two blushes every time I use it. I mix the two finishing powders every time I use it. Of course, the highlighter, I can use that on its own, but I have Frankened this bronzer. You can see that it has like some scrapings, and I Frankened it into like a really cool toned contour in this compact. So I will have a side by side of what this was looking like last month compared to what it's looking like now, but I do have my 9 uses on this, and it's not really budging that much. This is very pigmented, so I don't have to use a lot of it, and it looks very gray if I use too much. If I use like the slightest bit, it's an amazing contour for my fair cool skin, but if I use too much, I end up looking like that. So we don't want that now, do we? No. But that's my quick update. Slowly but surely, I really need to amp up my usage on that pink. Wish me luck. Again, if you're not subscribed, I hope you do so before you leave. So I see you all in my next one. Bye.